Word.
Welcome back from the desk of low. I have with me another fire collaboration. Now, this producer always brings the best out of each artist every time he collaborates with them. And I mean, really brings out the best in them, too. Without further introductions, you have a fire album out. Y'all need to go check out Street Poison. So if you already know what that is, I have All Hair YT and Tone Beatz with me. How you guys doing?
What up? What up? Peace.
What's good, brother?
What's good, my dude? This is our returning guest. But this time we got the visuals now with Tone Beatz. For the people who've been tuned in, Tone was part of the season 3 premiere with MRK Socks with Hello Tomorrow. But we are on all YT and Tone Beatz time. So I was curious, how did you two come across each other?
I let YT speak on that. Yeah.
So basically, I say probably like 2005. Like I had signed like a little production deal with this dude from Atlanta. He went by the name of Razor Sounds. He had an independent label. So I basically had signed with him for production, and I believe him and Tone were working together on some stuff too, because the dude Razor's from Augusta, and I think y'all two was linked up somehow. So I got linked up with Tone through a mutual producer who I was signed to named Razor. You know what I'm saying? If you want to elaborate, Tone.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I heard I think we're from Augusta to Atlanta. He played the stuff he did with him. And I was like, oh, that shit fire. And that's how it went from there, we just stayed connected.
Right. Yeah, that was like
pretty much
14 years now.
Oh wow! Was this before you were featured in the Sources on Hype column YT?
No, so this was like directly after. Like
Oh wow!
Yeah, this was like directly after that. So probably I moved to Atlanta like sometime in 2005. So it was not too long after we did that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And I noticed too, when I did my research on you too, your sounds too, like when I heard, Tone, when was the first time you ever heard Drink in My Cup? Because I was checking that out this morning too.
I heard that. Wow. I don't know, like, I don't know how I ran across that.
Okay.
It was just.
But the growth as an artist,
you just, like, yeah, it's just like that. You know how you just run across a situation. But that's the unique thing about YT though. It's like he got that incredible sound that it's like I think he's universal to me. You know what I mean? Like when I heard Drinking in Your Cup, it's like this cat is it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I first thought of. Like. Cause we did the joints we did together, man. It was like the early joints we did together. Those joints was crazy. I can't find them anymore either. You remember that first joint we did, man? That joint was crazy.
What was it called?
Never Changed.
Oh, Never Changed. Yeah. So yeah,
Never Changed.
We had a couple of joints before then, like back in the day. But I think I was writing to a lot of your joints, but I don't think it came into fruition probably. About that time, but yeah, like for everybody who don't know, I'm originally from Killeen, Texas. You feel me? So my influences was a lot more southern. I was fresh from Texas, probably around that time when I did Drink in My Cup, and like Drink in My Cup. That's from a classic like freestyle, like a Swisher House freestyle that the dude had the line. I don't even want to miss who it was. I think it might have been Pokey or one of them, but he had the line "Drink in My Cup." Man, hold up. Oh, no, it's Big Tyke. Excuse me. It's the Big Tyke. I got swingers on my truck. Baby Expedition. Spent my tuition. Got the boppers cooking up in the kitchen. So it was like a classic Southern freestyle that was just a classic. So I had took that and, put it on the beat. I chopped it up, took that Drink in My Cup, man, hold up, because I knew that it would resonate with a lot of people back home. At this time, I'm already in Delaware, though. And the producer who did that beat, his name is Too Much, And he's from Dallas. He's actually the producer of the Road Music Ice Cream Paint Job. So, you know, he like a platinum producer. But I had linked up with him before he did that. So that's just a little background on there. But long story short, I was heavily influenced by the South, Texas, UGK, you know what I'm saying? All that, you know what I'm saying? As well as East Coast, because my mother and father, they're from Delaware. Like, all my family is from Delaware. Like, me, my sisters and brothers, we the only ones from Texas. You know what I'm saying? I was born in Germany, and then I was brought basically to the state at like an early age. So I grew up in Texas. So, you know, that's just a little bit about my musical journey coming from the South and then, you know, up to the East Coast and, you know, expanding and, you know, doing that.
Yeah, because from an artist from the South, sounding the way you do is very unique too, and you don't really hear that from down south too. Like, yes, you have people like UGK and Face. Speaking of Face, you actually got to work with Face, and he taught you about putting the verses first instead of the hook first, right?
Yeah. That's crazy. You said that too. Yeah.
Well, because like South and lyricism, I feel like that the artist has to work like a little bit harder than the average artist from the East Coast because you don't expect that type of lyrics from the South.
Right.
Like you expect that turned up I don't know the proper term, like the trap sound. There we go.
Yeah. Well, you got to understand too. I'm from a different era of the South. I'm from Southern consciousness. So you think about Outkast, the Dungeon Family. You know what I'm saying? Even early UGK. You know these. You know, Ghetto Boys. You feel me? Like these dudes are speaking in a manner. You know what I'm saying? That spoke on the community, spoke on the drug side, but they rapping over sample beats. All Outkast early music was on samples. You know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music. That was the first album that really put me on that Southern twang. But you know, Andre 3000, Big Boy, they really speaking about stuff. And then Organized Noise Production, it was just live instrumentation. It was just something jazzy mixed with a little bit of everything. So, you know, the new South, yeah, it's more trappy. But I'm from the old guard of the South, essentially. And I came up on things that were maybe a little bit, probably more lyrical than today. You feel me?
Yeah, because you came up in a time where the Source magazine gave the Fix 5 mics too. Nowadays, the mic rating's not even spoken of anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So with you, Tone, too, having history with YT beforehand too, what was the initial invitation for you guys to actually collaborate fully on Street Poison too? Because from front to back too, it's only 8 tracks too, but that 8 tracks, like your production, man, I can't get over this. Now I know why MLK is always like talking so highly of you. Your production, especially when I got to the second track, like near the end too, it sounds like a movie. So I'm just curious on the invitation when you guys actually decided to make this wonderful piece of art.
Well, it was just a conversation. You know what I'm saying? It was just a conversation. Me and him had for like the past 2 or 3 years prior to that. You know, we just had conversations. We just like we'll see each other on social media and we'll probably DM each other and just we speak. Cause I see YT doing his thing. Plus, he had a crew with him that's real dope too. You know, shout out to Left Lane, Chris Skills, and Nice.
Right.
And you know, we all just connect. And I think if I may be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, YT. I think after the joint that done with Being the Bush with Left Lane and Nice, I think that's when we really start going at it real hard. I think after that, you know what I'm saying, we just started, to just formulate ideas. I started sending him beats. And I think we just like, yo, let's go for it. I think like it was like last summer, I think we really started going hard and just doing joints.
Yeah.
Because all the beats on Street Poison was done last summer. So
wow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna expand on it too. So basically, yeah, like you were saying, like when basically Tone, like I said, we've been linked up for the last 14 years, and he been sending us beats. Just like I got Tone beats from like 2005, somewhere on the CD, like in the stash, like hard joints too. And you know, mind you, the joint that Left and Nice did with Benny, Tone sent that beat probably like 8 years ago, like 8, 9 years ago, but it been sitting in the stash. So you know, like he said, me and Tone, we always kept up. Like even though we wasn't in like constant communication working on a project, we always like kept up with each other, and the relationship was always good. So when Lefty had pulled the beat out for the Mobilari joint, he was like, man, hit Tone up. I'm trying to use the beat. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of like the middleman between, you know, them getting the record done, like kind of putting Tone in the loop, like, yo, they want to use the beat, like, you know, helping them get the business straight, all that. And then, you know, from there, Tone started sending me joints. So then I was like, yeah, because I was transitioning too, just really trying to find my new place in music, because after doing it for so long, sometimes you can feel like stagnated and, you know, just searching for a direction that's going to be beneficial for you and fulfilling as an artist for expression. So, you know, I was trying to find my way as well. And Tone started sending me records. And then I started just putting it together. And then, you know, by the end of the year, we had Street Poison.
Yeah. Wow. That beat was from 8 years ago, too. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, the one with Benny, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe before then.
It was before then. It was before then. Because I listen to it now and be like, man, that's old.
Yeah, and it's crazy. When the time they dropped it, Prodigy had passed maybe like a week or two before they had dropped it. So yeah, exactly. How that came like full circle.
Cause the hook. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
During that time.
Yeah. Okay. R.I.P. too. We lost legend when he passed.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So YT, I was curious too, because after Street Poison too, like you released 3 other projects too, from what I could see on Tidal too. You actually have a very interesting history within this music industry too. One of my most questions that I always wanted to ask you too, because I'm a huge Desert Storm fan, so you already know where I'm going to go with this. Do you think your career would have went differently if Desert Storm really took off? Like really took off, like the way Rockefeller did, let's say.
Yeah, I think so. I think the problem with that whole situation, I just don't believe Clue really saw my vision where I was trying to take it. You know what I'm saying? Like we linked up, like I've been to Clue House, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we linked up a few times, but I was, you know, it was a transition time when I was finding my way solo from the Green City situation with Scarface, trying to just, you know, still find my way on a journey. And, you know, I had a record, it was a club record, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, back at that time, you know, you had to be in clubs, specifically in the South, to get any type of, you know, traction for the most part. So I was kind of following a path that was kind of laid through my management that I had at the time. A dude named Jay Classic, he ran Hustle Squad DJs, still runs it. It's like a group of coalition of DJs throughout the South. And, you know, they try and, you know, push records through a club avenue and radio, like a traditional route. So yeah, I had a record, and then Clue heard the record through his cousin DJ Storm, who's in Houston. So his cousin Storm is in Houston, and my record was kind of going around in the streets of Houston. And so I guess Clue was looking for like that next, who can I capitalize on with who has a record from the South that I can push and brand a Desert Storm South. And he wanted to take that record. He put Young Jock on it, who was kind of hot at the time. Jock was just coming off like his first single, Meet Me in the Trap.
It's going down.
Yeah. So Jock was just coming off that, and you know, so he was kind of hot. So that really kind of propelled me in a light. I had an A-list feature on the record. You know what I'm saying? And what happened with that situation, Clue was trying to shop me to labels. You know what I'm saying? And the labels were so politic driven at that time. You know, and like I said, he was trying to brand his Desert Storm South imprint. My whole thing was I didn't want to be under Desert Storm South. I wanted to be just Desert Storm. I saw myself with Fabulous, with Ransom, with all these cats that could spit. And I'm like, listen, I'm from here, but I could do this too. This is what I really would like to do. Yeah. And he was trying to get his Desert Storm South imprint off the ground. And the labels, like I said, were so regional at the time. They wanted to do a deal with me, but I actually turned it down. I think it might have been through like Universal or Def Jam or something like that. But the only way they would do the deal is if I ran through Swisher House. So it was going to be Swisher House, Desert Storm, and then what I was doing. But I come from the school of Jay-Z, a Hov, so I'm all about ownership. I'm looking at the business aspect beforehand. So I'm looking at it like, shit, if I go through Swisher House and Desert Storm and all y'all chopping, and then the major, like, what's gonna be left for me at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? When the money come back, so I actually turned it down. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be put through all these sub labels and sub and all that. You know, and looking back at it now, if I would have did it, it could have been different. Like, I don't know, like, you know, they would have really tried to control what I was doing. It might have worked out better. I might have more leverage now. I might be a bigger figure, possibly, or it might have hurt me. You know what I'm saying? So I really wouldn't know what would happen if that situation would have turned out correct. But I guess it's my journey, so, you know, it is what it is.
Because everything happens for a reason too, and you see the worth in your artist too. Because like most people, when they be getting signs like that too, like the last thing they'll be thinking about is the artistry too. They'll be thinking about the exposure or the money. But like it's what like you said too. There's very few people who are cut from that Jay-Z cloth who are all about ownership and taking pride in your artistry too. That's very rare to find.
Right. And at the time too, like, you know, me and my crew, like Left Lane, like, you know, we was heavy in the streets. So I had money. So money wasn't a concern from rapping. I had money from the street. So I wasn't looking like, I just wanted to make the best business move for myself. I turned down a couple of deals, actually. I turned down a deal with Ingenious. Those are the dudes who actually had Dero Music. You know, like I was saying, the ice cream paint job homie, like we was under the same management. And at the time, like our management was splitting, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they were kind of parting ways. So me out of loyalty, you know what I'm saying, which a lot of people, that it can kind of hurt you in the music industry, staying loyal to people that maybe not have your best interest or might not just be the best path. But, you know, I'm kind of a street dude. So my loyalties kind of lie with honor and these type of things. So they were trying to, long story short, they were trying to take me over there to them. They had to deal with E1 Music, you know, major distribution. And they wanted to put me under their label. But I had, like I said, I had my crew. It was me, Left Lane, who went by Slugs of Dawn at the time, Nish, my man Money, who now does like all our visuals. We had our own conglomerate and crew, and we had money. So we were looking for more of our own situation to funnel our own thing rather than being, you know, pushed up under another label. So, you know, it's crazy, man.
And we may never even got street poisoned.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, you're right.
I was curious, Tone, too, because, like, man, when I be playing that No Curfew almost on the regular, too, because just the way that plays out into Dumper's Delight, too. I was curious, Tone, on the making of these beats for this album project, too. Like, which one was the first one you initially sent over, if you can remember, too, that, like, the one that really is like, wow, okay, we're going somewhere with this?
I think with Dumper's Delight.
Really?
I think with Dumper's Delight, if I'm not mistaken, because a lot of beats didn't make it, but the one that made it, and I think the first one I sent was Dumper's Delight, and I think Dumper's Delight actually 2 beats in one, and I think YT kept the second half, and the second half was Dumper's Delight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that started because what happened was then he sent me back the raw version where I think it wasn't everybody verses on it. Right. I think it was just him and Left. I think Nice. I don't think Nice got a verse.
It was Fi. It was Fi, Nice, and me on it first originally. Because we went to Atlanta and we just me, like Fahim, Left, Nice. We just stayed in the crib and just recorded for like 3 days straight. So Fi laid his verse first, then Nice came through. I laid my verse, and then I think Stack Thriller came through, and then it was Skills. I think he did his verse. Skills did his verse last, and Left, then Stack, then Skills. It's kind of hard to remember the order, but initially it was me, Fi, and Nice on it at first.
Yeah. Okay. And that what started it. You know, and then I remember, funny story about this is, YT always send me the songs on a Sunday. And I remember, I don't know if he remember that, but it all be on a Sunday because I be working. And I was like, I spend the rest of the day at work listening. And what it does that the next day, it sticks in my mind. I stick that same style, you know, like the dramatic style. I think that's kind of set the tone for Street Poison. Because it just kept that, I just want to keep that dramatic. So if you listen to the rest of the album, I think Dumper's Delight set the tone, pretty much for me on the sonically, you know, from the production standpoint. Yeah.
Cause you said like there was a lot of tracks that didn't make the cut too. I was curious, like were vocals or were they just the beats that didn't make it?
Oh, just the beats, I think.
Yeah, just beats. Like Tone, Tone one of the hardest working people in the game. Like he sent me beats every day. He sent me so much beats. It'd be good too. I'd be like, man, nah, go ahead. I'd be like, send it to somebody else, man. I don't want to take all the good beats, but like some of them that resonate with me, I'd be like, yeah, tuck that, like put that up. Like, and I got a folder right now for like our new projects. We got like 2 new projects in the works. We got one that's coming really soon, and then we working on a Street Poison Part 2. So yeah, I be trying to tuck them, but I don't want to keep them under wraps. You know what I'm saying? So
because I figure with like Tone and his production, it always brings the best out of each artist too, because he makes the beats specifically for that artist when he's making the beats. If I'm right, Tone.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Really, what the project we're working on, I think what people forget, and you probably catch it if you listen to his discography this year. Street Poison sets the tone, but I think the other projects like Deluxe Drugs, I think they kind of took it to that next level. And what I mean, what it does, it changed my mindset of, okay, the next project, I gotta make it. I gotta make it. That's the kind of person I am. When I come with an artist and say, let's do the project, and that artist is 100% in, like YT, I'm going all in. So when I hear that, and I hear his work he doing after Street Poison, I'd be like, okay, I gotta go hard. So I'm digging harder. I'm in my zone. So that's what's going on as far as the 2 projects coming. It's gonna be a lot more. I'm not gonna speak much on it, but it's gonna be a lot more intense, lot more. It's gonna be a lot more. It's just gonna be incredible. Like the next 2 projects are gonna be incredible because Street Poison came out in January, and I mean this guy came with like 3 or 4 projects after that, and those 3 or 4 projects is outstanding. So it's like, to me, I gotta compete with that. You know what I'm saying? I love them cats. I love Socrates and I love Street Bangers. Even Mute One. I love all them cats. But I'm just like, for me, from produce standpoint, like, okay, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really gotta top off. You know what I'm saying? Even competing with Street Poison itself. I'm trying to outdo that. You know what I'm saying? Really trying to create. Because if you listen to YT, got his own sound, man. If you really pay attention to it, he really got his own sound. So just, I'm running around, I mold around it. I love it. I love that because I mold around it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really build around, you know what I'm saying? Like, I build it like a movie. And that's why my beats like a movie, because I look at him as the main character. Like, he's the main actor. And I'm making the score. I'm Quincy Jones and shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm making the score around him as he's speaking. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna have that sound, you know.
It definitely shows. I gotta tell you that. It definitely does show. I'm glad that you guys are making a part 2 to this too. If all the works in the process too. Have you guys ever met each other in person yet, like for a video shoot?
Oh yeah, we linked up a couple times.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it wasn't strictly just over there Wi-Fi. You guys actually met up like face to face and actually got to build and stuff like that too. So that's always good as well.
Yeah, I've been to Tone House. This was years ago, but yeah, I done came to his crib when I was living in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, we done linked up personally. Now, we didn't get to create Street Poison in person, but over the years we have linked up.
Yeah.
Okay. And you being from the South, YT, I was curious if Chamillionaire was a big influence on you.
Yes, hell yeah, I love Chamillionaire, man. I can rap a whole Chameleon verse right now. Dude, man.
Because his mixtape Messiahs, man, Jesus, those are fire.
Them was hard too, but like I was listening to a lot of his freestyles on the early, you know what I'm saying, like with Michael Watts, the Social House tapes, his Color Changing Click when he was with Paul Wall.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's when he was really, really fire to me. You know what I'm saying? But my earliest influences, it's more like Slick Rick, Snoop Dogg, you know what I'm saying? A lot of West Coast rap I came up on, Spice One, and then I got into Wu-Tang, super heavy, Wu, Jay-Z, Nas, you know what I'm saying? And then it just Biggie, Bone Thugs and Harmony, it's mad, so many influences, even like Twista, the Midwest, like the fast rap, the tongue to that was like a thing in Texas. Like you had to be able to kind of rap fast a little bit, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like, but yeah, Chamillionaire. Long story short, he was the first super lyrical Southern dude on these mixtapes to come out, and you really he just kind of shined on everybody because everybody else flows are so basic. A time it came through, and then it down in mine, and he come through. Boom, he just hit you with something crazy. So I was like, damn, this dude is ill. So ever since then, yeah, I was definitely a fan.
Okay. Yeah, and it's great to see what he accomplished in life too. Somebody's like a multi-millionaire off an app.
Man, Chamillionaire is good money. He was smart. So what a lot of people don't understand, like I was such a Chamillionaire fan. Like in high school, like I was like a moderator on his website, chamillionaire.com, because I was so active on the site. Like I was like a moderator. The actual title they had, it was called Stretch Navigator Moderator, because you know he's just like kind of in his own world, King Koopa. So but yeah, man, he was dope, man. Like Chameleon, bro. Yes, he was just ahead of everything. He had his own website at a time when the web was just fledgling, so he was already in tune with the whole tech boom and everything before it happened. And I think he got in at the forefront of it and was able to invest in some apps and some things outside of rap and just, you know what I mean, maintain from there.
Yeah, because the first time when somebody was telling me, because I always was a fan of Chamillionaire too. Like I always followed his career, but when he stopped, like wasn't so frequently with the music, I started to like look up. I was like, wow, he's a multi-millionaire. People were when I first saw it too. I'm like, there's no way like Chamillionaire invested in some app. And then when I actually did the research too, he actually did. I was like, wow, I wouldn't be doing music either if I had that kind of money.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the whole Houston, Texas scene from that time, from Little Flip, Paul Wall, Chamillionaire, Slim Thug,
yeah,
Lil Kiki, all these artists made so much money in the 90s, late 90s and early 2000s from just being a Texas underground thing. It was such a thing that all these artists are millionaires. They live a multi-millionaire lifestyle off the work that they put in at that time. Like you're never gonna see Slim Thug broke in Houston. It's just not gonna happen. So it's like these artists were able to capitalize at a time when the internet, the mixtapes, and we're coming to an end on the street somewhat, and the internet was coming, and that allowed them to spread and grow to like exponentially. You know what I'm saying? So all these dudes they good money forever. Like.
Yeah, and too, a lot of them were independent back then too. People don't actually see that too.
Facts. A couple of them made like Chamillionaire. They when they reached that culmination, like when he did Riding Dirty with Busy, with Busy, that was like his culmination of commercial success. Some Thug, he went with the Neptunes and did his major label thing and dropped his like a Boss and all that them records with the tunes. So yeah, I think that's the kind of the trajectory of an artist. You do everything you can on an underground level until you have no choice but to maybe link with a major to spread your brand, like maybe like a Nipsey with Victory Lap. He ran through everything he could do on his own independently and reached that level of culmination. He's like, all right, this is the next step for me to, expand my brand.
And it's all about putting the work in too, because a lot of people don't actually see, like you have to put in a lot of work to get to that, because it just doesn't come like that.
Facts. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I love when artists like touch on recent topics too. You actually said in a CCE Enterprise, you see what happens to Bobby Smurder and 6ix9ine, when you see what happened when you put gangster shit up online. I was like, man, that's facts right there. What made you want to include that line in particular, Larry, about modern rappers putting gang shit online into actually street poison too?
Well, when you think about it, street poison is it's basically about the ills of the streets and how can it affect young kids who take in all these ills and what you become. It's actually a term that was coined by Iceberg Slim in his book, his autobiography I read, and he said from a youth he felt like he was street poison. And basically that's just as a kid, you taking all these things and seeing all these things that you probably shouldn't see, and then letting that influence you, and then you become with this sickness. You kind of got a twisted viewpoint. So now with this internet and clout chasing and just wanting to be, just having a lack of guidance somewhat too, because a lot of the fathers aren't around. Like my father was in jail 10 years as I was coming up. So there's a lack of guidance in just being able to know what's popping. So I understood, like, you can't put certain things online if you without incriminating yourself. So when you in the street and you moving as a street dude, a street person, you have to kind of keep that totally separate. You can't even have a public lifestyle on the internet and expect for things not to come back to you. So I just wanted to just kind of put that out there. Like, these are examples that y'all should be looking at. Bobby Shmurda and 6ix9ine and these dudes, well, see what they did and don't do that. Move smarter if you're going to be in the street and try and carry that to the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very true. Tone, I was curious on your reaction when you get to see YT getting showed heavily love on Sway's Universe.
Oh man, I was hyped. They just tell you, that's what I love to see. You know what I'm saying? I think from my standpoint, one of the worst things I experienced the past couple of years of projects going on dead ears, all of them finished projects, beats to be wasted away. To see YT just grind the way he grind and get recognition. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing, man. It's like you start with him, then you see the finished product of the project out and the reaction of that product. You know what I'm saying? Like not just the Sway universe, it's just the mixtape that project got picked up on. You know what I'm saying? From Soul Assassin Radio, from PF Cutting mixtape, from I think some other DJs on their playlist. I think we got playlists. We was on playlists overseas.
Yeah,
you
Premier,
know,
Primo picked it up.
Premier picked it up.
Yeah,
it
got a lot of love for real.
Yeah, it got a lot of love, and that what always says, you know, like it was a starting point. It was a starting point of, you know, that's why I got much love for him, man, because he took that opportunity and ran with it. A lot of people took that and just lay down, you know, oh, I did good. No, he's like, no, I'm gonna come up with this, I'm come up with that, come up with this. I think pretty much he had a project every month, pretty much after that. So to see him get so much love, even with the Sway universe, it was just, I was hyped, man. I was like, yo, you know, that's helped me as a producer to go grinding harder, because you see your partner going at it, like he grinding, he getting the product out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's a video. Believe it or not, it helped me. You know what I'm saying? It helped me a lot. So it's a great thing to see. You know what I'm saying? Finally, you know, you link up with somebody that grind. You know what I'm saying? You know, besides MRK. You know what I'm saying? Like him and MRK, like the two guys I know that just grind. You know what I'm saying? So
I was gonna bring that up too. I was gonna say, because like it's amazing to see somebody get their shine after you worked with them for so long too. It's like, damn, man, I seen this way before everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw. I think when I first heard Devil, man, my favorite song we ever did, even with Street Boys, it never changed, man. Never changed with my favorite joint.
Yeah, that was
and no, I can't find that joint, man. And you know, I knew it then. I used to play that joint crazy, like, yo, this is it. But back then, you really couldn't get nothing out. You know, I'm from South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't really get it out. Like, all I could do was put on MySpace. That's the only thing I could have done. You know what I'm saying? So to now, just the internet, you know, the social media make the world so smaller. Right. And just to hear this guy, you know what I'm saying, just come up with this crazy project at Street Poison, and again, so much love, you know what I'm saying? Even like the cast loving it, man. Just, it's a beautiful thing, man. Straight up.
It's definitely a blessing for your artistry to be appreciated, almost more than the money monetarily. The love is just as good. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's all you want as an artist, for your work to be appreciated for real. And if you can make a living off of it, that's even better.
Exactly.
There's no better feeling than that, actually getting appreciated for your art.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, gents, too, I actually want to thank you both. This is Toad's second time on the show. This is YT's first time on the show. Gotta have y'all back to bring down some solo things, too. I was curious that if you guys want to plug anything before I let you go.
Go ahead, YT.
Man, you know, me and Tone Beatz, we working on a new project. Got a lot of special surprises on it. It should be out September. At some point, I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm hoping. We're gonna get to work on it, and yeah, just stay tuned, man. Follow the movement. allhellyt.com is the site. You know what I'm saying? Hit Tone Beatz up for that crack, and we're gonna keep cooking.
Yeah, same here, man. This harping back what YT's saying, man. We got a project coming out in September. Something real dope, man. I've been working all summer. I think YT be doing this on purpose, man. He know if he doing it, man, let's do something. And I'd be like flaving all summer, man. But every time I do it, man, we come up with something amazing. So that coming out, you know, we working hot, you know, a big shout out to the whole camp, man. Left Lane, Chris Skills, Jay Nice, you know what I'm saying? The whole team, man. That's just what it is, man. Just holler at me. Y'all know me on Instagram. Y'all see me out there. So just on my daily grind. That's all it is.
And I highly advise everybody listening to just go check out Tone Beatz when he collabs with a certain artist like Lex Boogie or MLK Sauce. You all won't be disappointed. I guarantee you.
You know what? I'm glad you said it, man. Big shout out to Lex Boogie, man. Big shout out to Lex. Big shout out to the Working Class Music, the 30 Drums Academy. You know what I'm saying? Illustrate. You know what I'm saying? The whole team in the A. Love y'all dudes, man. You know. Yeah.
May have to have you back on there with Lex Boogie too soon. But with this being said, too, one YT and Tone Beatz time too. This is episode 4 from the Desk Glow visual sessions featuring All Hair YT and my guy Tone Beatz. Yo, I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart for doing this.
No problem, man. Anytime, brother. Anytime.
Yo, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you, bro. I know we was trying to get the scheduling together, so I'm
glad. I fully understand. We all have our own individual lives.
Yeah. Grab me though.
Anything y'all gents need from me, don't hesitate to ask, and I got y'all.
No doubt. No doubt.
One love, gents.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace.